They've just won a league title. They've already replaced Trent in Frimpong. That deal is signed. And Liverpool are out here looking to make more signings in the transfer window before it even opens. Kerkez coming in at left back. That looks likely to happen. But the big one is Florian Wirtz. Bayern Munich are always seen as the favourites, but Bayer Leverkusen do not want to sell to Bayern Munich. And Wirtz does have some interest in moving to England. So all of a sudden, Liverpool could have gone out there, signed Frimpong, boom, that's done. Romano's confirmed that. They're now looking to get Kerkez. They're now looking to get Wirtz. They're in the bag, Kerkez and Wirtz, players that they want. There's Ekitike there. There's Hato as a potential option, who I'm not sure if you're going to see him as a centre back now. You get Kerkez at left back. Who knows? They're ready to act. And there's a lot of Liverpool news, a lot of Liverpool stories. And I have to say, if you guys get Kerkez, Frimpong, and Wirtz, I'll be very jealous, because you've basically replaced your fullbacks with that, because Wirtz can bring elements of what Trent did in terms of his passing, but you've got attacking output from Frimpong, you've got attacking output from Kerkez. So there's a lot of Liverpool news. There's loads of Liverpool news, in fact, coming out. So I'm going to break down all the Liverpool news, transfer news, stories, and more. As you can see the order, we'll talk about Kerkez, Hato, Wirtz, Frimpong, Ekitike, and updates on Nunez and Quansah's exit. If you do enjoy today's video, feel free to hit that like button. Of course, feel free to subscribe if you're new. At ECILA Football, we cover all sort of the big Premier League teams, latest transfer news, do analysis videos, match reactions, and more. But let's dive into the story. So Fabrizio Romano confirmed that Frimpong will sign his contract at Liverpool in the next 24 hours. The deal was confirmed. The Dutch right-back completed first and second part of his medical, with formal steps and announcements to follow. Obviously, said here we go the other day. Frimpong has signed. He is set to be announced. But the big news that came out yesterday from Romano was, look, Liverpool are now going for a left back. Kerkez is on. Romano said this last night. Understand, Liverpool have contacted Bournemouth for Kerkez. Deal with talks now advancing. Liverpool are also completing the agreement on personal terms with Kerkez, who's keen on a move. Negotiations underway between clubs on a transfer fee. He's saying Kerkez to Liverpool, absolutely on. So Frimpong has signed. Kerkez, personal terms, not an issue, essentially done. All they have to do now is go to Bournemouth and agree on a fee. Liverpool want to pay 35 million, Bournemouth want 45 million. Something could be agreed in around 40 million. Will Bournemouth lower their fee after they've lost Huijsen? Are they going to be difficult? Yes, of course they will be. But Kerkez to Liverpool is absolutely on. Now, I did read something about Man City having interest in Kerkez, but I think because Liverpool are close to getting Kerkez and Bournemouth want a bit of money, they'll put out a story that Man City are in for him and Man City are willing to pay up to try and get Liverpool, I think, to pay up. Because Man City spent a load of money on Guardiola to play left back not that long ago. I mean, they do need another fullback, but I think they need a right back more than left back. And maybe they will go for Kerkez. But I think Liverpool are going to sign Kerkez. I think Liverpool are very much winning this race, because this is what's said. Advanced, he's happy to join, negotiations ongoing. Paul Joyce, who is very, very reliable when it comes to Liverpool, also said, look, the interest in Kerkez is firm. Bournemouth want 45 million. That's the only issue. I think Bournemouth might lower it to around 40 million. He also mentioned Ajax's Hato as one of the alternative options. Now, I see Hato being a left back, long-term left centre back. He's very different to Kerkez in the sense of he's more defensive, Kerkez is more attacking. I could see Liverpool looking at Hato as a Quansah replacement, actually, for centre back. Maybe that's just me. He can play left back, and maybe his ability to play centre back and left back is what Liverpool like. But I do think he's quite different to Kerkez in that sense. So Frimpong done, signed. Kerkez is in the bag. You've just got to pay the money. And another player in Liverpool's bag to buy is Florian Wirtz. Can Liverpool beat Bayern to Florian Wirtz? Because we're going to get into these. We're going to stories. Bayern are the favourites. Man City have dropped out the race, but Liverpool is still in the race. And Liverpool must have got some indications that Wirtz could be open to this move. I believe Man City dropped out the race for Wirtz because they found out that Wirtz didn't want to go to them. So they said, we dropped out because we financially can't afford it. Man City can financially afford it. If Liverpool can financially afford it, City can. So I reckon City dropped out because they probably found out he would choose Liverpool over City if he was to go to the Premier League. So what has been said on Wirtz? This was said by Paul Joyce. It is clear that Liverpool are making a pitch to Wirtz to join head coach Arne Slot's title-winning squad to try and persuade him to opt for a new challenge away from his homeland. Two things I'm going to say. German players love to stay in the Bundesliga. They love to go to Bayern Munich. But Bayer Leverkusen are Bayern Munich's biggest competition. They've just got Tar from Bayer Leverkusen. Bayer Leverkusen fans aren't going to be happy if Wirtz leaves them for Bayern Munich. That's like an Arsenal player leaving for Man City. You know, imagine Arsenal fans if Saka's like, I'm going to go to Man City or Liverpool. If Saka's going to leave Arsenal right now, because Arsenal, despite not winning anything, they're always going to be in that top three. He'd go to Madrid. He'd go to Barcelona. He wouldn't go to Liverpool. He wouldn't go to Manchester City. So I feel like Wirtz going to Bayern Munich is like Wirtz leaving Arsenal for Liverpool or leaving Arsenal for Man City. Do you know what I mean? And I know that Bayer Leverkusen don't want that. And they don't want him to go to the rival. Bayer Leverkusen fans don't want that. But Wirtz probably wants to stay in the Bundesliga. It's a thing in the Bundesliga where all the good players go to Bayern. However, Liverpool have just won the league. He is perfect for Arne Slot in that 10 role. Szoboszlai played deeper yesterday. I only watched about 20 minutes of the game yesterday versus Brighton, but he looked all right playing deeper as well. I think this is what Liverpool want, Wirtz, because he can replace elements of Trent's creativity. And I think with Liverpool winning the league, with maybe Jurgen Klopp being former manager, being German, I don't know, with the Premier League being an amazing league, with the fact that Bayer Leverkusen want him to go to Liverpool, I think it's possible. Lewis still said that Florian Wirtz is tempted by the idea of playing for Liverpool, and Liverpool are going to push hard for him because the money is there. So Man City claiming the money isn't there, but I think it's more that he's been rejected. But it was said that Liverpool are pushing hard to sign Wirtz. I doubt Leverkusen want to sell to Bayern. They'd rather sell to Liverpool. But Bayern Munich do have an agreement in place with the player, but there's a big question mark over whether they can reach an agreement for Bayer Leverkusen. Now, what I'm going to say is this reminds me of Leny Yoro to Man United. Liverpool went in for Leny Yoro last season. They thought they weren't going to beat Madrid to him, so you went out the Leny Yoro race. And Madrid, everyone thought he was going to go to Madrid. Yoro wanted Madrid, this and that. And then Man United came in. They came in with this massive pitch. They used Rio Ferdinand. Lille said to Yoro, look, Real Madrid won't buy you now. They're going to make the club in a financial situation. Real Madrid wanted him to run down his contract like they've asked Trent to do, like they asked Alphonso Davies to do, which he didn't do in the end, so they could get him on a free. And he didn't do that, Yoro. So he went to Manchester United out of loyalty to his club. So there's a part of me that thinks, could Florian Wirtz, out of loyalty to Bayer Leverkusen, go to Liverpool? Bayern are favourites, but something tells me out of loyalty, could he go? Because Sky Sports Germany also said that Bayern Munich have an agreement in place with the player, but there's a question mark. There's a question mark over Bayern Munich and Bayer Leverkusen reaching an agreement. If you're Bayer Leverkusen and you're the team that's most likely to compete with Bayern Munich next season, and you've lost your manager, you've lost your centre-back to your rival, and now your best player you could use to your rival, you don't want to do that. What else do we know about City and the Wirtz race? City pull out of the Florian Wirtz race, and Liverpool are patiently waiting. This was said by Romano. City have withdrawn from the race due to cost concerns. City also want a quicker decision from player. Liverpool remain in the race and are willing to wait for Wirtz to decide. No final decision yet. Everything depends on Wirtz's choice. Liverpool remind me of when Man United went in for Leny Yoro, knowing Madrid were the favourites. They know Bayern are the favourites. Man City have gone, we can't be bothered to wait anymore, they've pulled out. I think that Man City have got the indication that if he was to go to England, he'd pick Liverpool over Man City, and they've probably said they don't have the money to act like they pulled out on their own terms to save face. Liverpool are there waiting. They're going to see what happens, because him to Bayern Munich is difficult. He may favour Bayern Munich, but it's difficult. It's all on Wirtz's choice. Can Liverpool convince Wirtz to come? That is the big question. City have pulled out. Wirtz was seen as the potential De Bruyne's successor, offered money by City. He's, all of a sudden not really good. I think he's probably said no to City, and City, have said they've dropped out for financial reasons. It's now Liverpool and Bayern Munich. There's two people in this race. He's going to have further talks with Bayern Munich, but Liverpool are very hopeful. He has an agreement reportedly with Bayern Munich, but Liverpool are hopeful because Bayer Leverkusen and Bayern Munich cannot seem to agree on things. Although, Romano did say this. Bayern Munich remain confident Wirtz will join them. Liverpool met with Wirtz's parents and presented a long-term project. The club is prepared to pay a significant fee and has an ambitious future plan. If he chooses Bayern, Liverpool have no regrets. They did all they could, which is fair. You can only do what you can do. And if he chooses the other club, and he wasn't the guy for you because he didn't want to come, and you did all that presentation and stuff. Liverpool ready to pay up. They've met the parents. They've presented the long-term project. He must have some interest in Liverpool, because I think if Liverpool felt there was no chance, they would have been out by now. They would have been out by now. Like, you exited the Leny Yoro race quite quickly, like Man City have done with us. I think you would have been out right now. The fact that Man City have walked out and not Liverpool says to me maybe Liverpool have got some hope, despite Bayern Munich being the favourites. We also know from Sky Sports News that Liverpool are interested, and all of that. The current expectation is that Wirtz could go to Bayern Munich. They're not sure if he wants to leave Germany, but Liverpool have not given up. They're trying to sign Wirtz. So Liverpool getting Frimpong, brilliant deal. Liverpool getting Kerkez, brilliant deal. But if Liverpool get Wirtz, that's the next level deal. Like, as a Manchester United fan, to see Florian Wirtz, Frimpong and Kerkez go to Liverpool in the first 2 weeks of the window makes me feel like they've already won 20 titles and they've brought in 3 insane signings. But the thing is, they're not going to stop there. Darwin Nunez is going to go. There's no doubt in my mind that Darwin Nunez is going to leave, and that money they get for Darwin Nunez is going to go on a striker. Now, they've been linked to Isaac, but I don't think he's going anywhere, especially if Newcastle get Champions League football. Then I don't think he will leave Newcastle at all. And if he does leave, it's 100 million plus. But there's talk about Ekitike. He wants to leave Eintracht Frankfurt. There's some top clubs in for him, but they said a price tag of 100 million euros, which is 85 million pounds. Same price as Anthony. He's not worth that kind of money. I think Liverpool would pay up to 60 million for him, and I think the price tag will get lowered. But Frankfurt, they know how to get money. They've got good money for Marmoush. They've got good money for Kolo Muani. They've got good money for Jovic. They know how to get money for their players. But Liverpool are looking at Ekitike. That seems to be the striker that you guys are looking at. There's João Pedro links, there's Julian Alvarez links. I'm not sure how reliable they are. But the way Liverpool will afford it is Darwin Nunez, because Saudi are willing to probably pay a big fee for Darwin Nunez. And according to Florian Plettenberg, and there's been a lot of rumours about this over the last few months, Saudi clubs are interested in Darwin Nunez. They've kind of got the money and all of that as well. So I think Liverpool are waiting on and hoping on a big bid for Darwin Nunez. Now, I don't know if Darwin Nunez wants to go to Saudi, but I know he wants to leave Liverpool. Apparently, he put some weird tweets up as well and stuff like that. And he's not been good for Liverpool. He doesn't look like he wants to be there. Slot doesn't want him. I think he will leave. I think if he goes to Saudi, you're going to get more money than elsewhere. And that money will be used to invest in a striker, which could be Ekitike. There could be a surprise name come up. Another name I think could go, I don't know if it'd be permanent or on loan, is Quansah. Several Bundesliga clubs and English teams are showing an interest in Quansah. A sale this summer is not ruled out. I like Quansah. I think he's a good player. But if one of Van Dijk or Konate is out for 6 months, I don't think Quansah's got the ability to step in without Liverpool noticing that difference. You need a third centre-back that's going to step in if Van Dijk's out. That's going to step in if Konate's out. And you're not really going to notice that difference. And I think as well, with Konate having a bit of an injury issue, if you lose both Konate and Van Dijk, you've got Joe Gomez and Quansah at the back. I think if I'm Liverpool, I'd look for a better centre-back. If I'm Liverpool, you want Kerkez, you want Frimpong, you want Wirtz, you want a top striker, you want another centre-back, and then you may be looking at competition for the 6. Maybe Szoboszlai can play deeper if you bring Wirtz in. There's another name in midfield. But you might be looking at someone so you can rest Gravenberch, because Gravenberch will be key to the system with Kerkez and Frimpong, because you'll need someone like Gravenberch that can drop deep between the centre-backs and build up, recycle the ball to allow your full-backs to play high. That's what I think. Anyway, that is all the Liverpool news. They seem to be doing a lot of business. There's not so much Arsenal news or Chelsea news just yet, even Newcastle news. But I guess with Liverpool season 100% over, all they're doing is focusing on the window now. So that is all the latest Liverpool news. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. Bye.